Hey guys, this is Dave with Moniology. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Today is Tuesday, October 3rd, 2017, and we're going to do another biotech sector review where we're going to go through some of the names that are worth your attention. Okay, so having a look at the first on the list is RS Medical Holding, EARS. This is one that we currently own, and it looks really good. It looks good on multiple time frames. It's above the middle Bollinger Band, and MACDs are curling back higher. It's getting accumulated very nicely. The accumulation distribution line is moving up, the cash money flow is moving up, and it's already in positive territory, and the volume's starting to pick up, and we're above the 50 on the weekly RSI, which is a very positive development. And when it's above the 50 RSI along with positive divergence, you see here, last time we were at a similar RSI point, we were at 97. Now we're at 87, and we're above that 50 level, which is a very bullish development. Our first price target is $1, but we think this is going to go much higher once that price point does break. Next on the list is Aksum Therapeutics, AVIR. One that we really like. It's got this rounded base here that's developing. Its MACDs are at 3-year highs, which is very bullish development. It's being accumulated. The cash money flow is in the positive, and RSI is also positively diverging and above 50. This is a price target also of 1, but certainly in the short run, a move towards 84 is likely in the cards. And then if it breaks that 84, which is the 50 EMA, then $1 followed by 150. But this one has some good trend and very positive momentum. Aksum Therapeutics, AXSM. This is also very nice. It's above the middle Bollinger Band. It had this nice move on very strong volume. We've consolidated for about a month or two above this middle Bollinger Band, and now we're starting to move higher. We're now above the 50 EMA. We're above the 50 on the weekly RSI. Money flow and accumulation look really good, and and the MACDs have curled towards 0 and then have bounced and rebounded. So if you don't already own this, a nice trigger point would be $6, and for a targeted move towards that $8 range would definitely be a consideration for this name. Next on the list is Aksum Therapeutics, BLPH. This has been basing in a very kind of bullish flag formation here for the last basically all of 2017. One of our favorite patterns is when the MACDs on the weekly are starting to curl above 0. Some of the most powerful moves happen at that point. What typically happens is you break above 0, and then a lot of traders bounce onto the stock. It rallies very quickly, and then it has a drop back, knocking a lot of these weak cans out, and then goes higher. This is why weekly charts are so important, because it kind of removes the short-term noise. So what if it drops 5 to 10 to 20%? If you're going for 100 to 200% over the course of the next 6 to 12 months? You have to understand your strategy, whether you're a day trader or a swing trader or whatever the case may be. But bottom line is, this is basing in a very positive direction. MACDs are curling above 0. We're above 50 on the weekly RSI, and we think that this is going to move certainly towards $2, and if that breaks above that, then you've got a longer-term uptrend and the next leg higher in BLRX. BioDelivery Sciences International, BDSI. Beautiful breakout in early 2017 from this downtrend since 2015. We had a nice rally from basically 150 all the way to 340. We've consolidated a bit. We shook some weekends once we broke below the 50 weekly EMA, but now we're above that middle Bollinger Band, above the 50, and looks like we're starting to move higher. If we break above $3, that's a sign that we're gonna make a retest of 4, and our perspective is we'll probably make a run towards the 200 EMA at 463. So some very nice upside ahead for BioDelivery. Bioline RX, BLRX. This is a beautiful pattern here. It's got some very nice double topping action, but it's got good momentum here, and so we think that this is going to break higher. Double tops are only bad when they're confirmed and they break lower, but once we've broken out of this downtrend, we've successfully retested it from the upside, and now we're rallying. Me thinks that this is going much higher, and so a trigger point would be a move above 135 or thereabout, and the first price target is just above the 200 EMA at 150, followed by possible move towards that 188, possibly 280 down the road. BioStar Pharmaceuticals, BSPM. This one is really attractive here. It's in the very midst of breaking out of this downtrend since middle of 2016. The MACDs have already broken out above zero. The money flow is moving in a very positive direction. RSI has broken out of this downtrend and is about to break the 40 level with very strong momentum. And so the first price target really is at $2.05 line, which coincides with the 50 EMA. But there's a lot of upside. So these flag breakouts are very, very bullish when they do occur. CAPR Therapeutics, CAPR, beautiful pattern that we've called in several videos. We've highlighted this particular chart. Had this nice basing pattern followed by a very strong move, followed by a multi-month consolidation in this kind of flagging pattern, and then we broke out in very strong volume once again. Again, wouldn't be surprised if we pulled back here. So for us to go long at this point would mean having to break above $4. But in the meantime, wouldn't be surprised to see if we consolidate right above that $2 range, above the 50 EMA that's curling upward, and followed by a resumption higher. But this has a lot of upside ahead down the road. I just wanted to point this out because of the accumulation, and everything is very positive for this one. But it is overbought, and so the next leg higher will be after 4. If you want to do a buy trigger at that price point, that makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, look to purchase if this sells off a little bit. Next on the list is CARA Therapeutics, CARA. This is one of the high flyers from last year, and it rode from 435 all the way to 2850. It's had a great run. Now it's consolidated a bit, right below the 50 EMA right now. But we think that it's starting to set up for another move higher. It's been consolidating right below the 50 on the weekly RSI, which is very positive development that it hasn't broken down. And the MACDs are starting to curl, and the stochastics are starting to curl. So for us to go long, we want to see this above the middle Bollinger Band around the 15-18 level. But don't be surprised to see a push higher towards that 22 price point at some point later on this year. Next on the list, we have CARDX CDNA. Beautiful chart since May of a low of 76. We've rallied all the way to 459. And now we're extremely overbought, but very positive. A lot of volume, even at some of the higher points here in this rally. MACDs are at multi-year highs. And so for us to go long, this means it needs to break above $5 to confirm a next leg higher. It might consolidate a little bit towards this $3 range, but longer term, this is going to see double digits based on this sort of price action alone. Next on the list is Calabasas Pharmaceuticals, CATB. Beautiful basing pattern that finally broke higher since August. MACDs are at multi-year highs, and this thing appears to have a lot more legs behind this one. And so this either breaks above 3 and makes a run towards the 5 level, or it consolidates towards that 50 EMA at 238. So keep an eye on this one. If you want to go long and you don't already own it, that $3 price point makes a lot of sense. If you want to initiate a position here just to see where we are, and then it falls back towards the 50 EMA, it's another great spot to add to the position, and you just want to accumulate over time. But really good chart on Calabasas. Next on the list is Catalyst Biosciences, CBIO. I just want to point out this beautiful breakout here since this downtrend that's been around in place since 2015. Multi-year highs on the MACDs, just crossed 50 on the weekly RSI. So wouldn't be surprised if we're going to make a move towards that 625 level. We break that, and there's really upside all the way up to 1250 without much resistance. So if you own it, great, and expect to see higher highs. If you don't, price trigger for a long would be 625. Cellectar Biosciences, CLRB, another breakout of this downtrend, and now we've consolidated around this breakout level above the middle Bollinger Band. Our first price target is that 250 zone, with the MACDs now above 0, and it looks like we're about to break 50 on the RSI, which will probably spark that very nice move that we expect. Next on the list is Celsion Corp CLSN. Beautiful, beautiful breakout. Don't know much about this company or why this breakout occurred, but now what you want to see is, okay, well, what's going to happen next? If it breaks above $6, I think the next move is $12.50, so that's a nice another 100% gain. It might consolidate down to the 312 level, so we don't like these sort of 300% moves, because you don't want to start buying now and then watch it fall 50% and only to ride higher down the road. So this is just one I wanted to point out and kind of just see the anatomy of a beautiful breakout. Had this downtrend here. We finally broke out, and then boom. A large part of this move probably is short sellers being forced to cover. And the question is, are there enough longs to push this higher? We'll see, and potentially you want to study the fundamentals of this type of move to kind of determine what the next price point ought to be. Finally on this list is CERC Inc. CERC. This one looks very, very good. It's got this rounded base breakout. We're right below the 50 EMA at 123. We tested it, probably knocked out some shorts and then pulled back. And the MACDs are at multi-year highs. We're firmly above the 50 on the weekly RSI. Our first price target is 150 on this one. If 150 breaks, there's this huge gap here to fill around $4 to $5. So a lot of upside on CERC. Guys, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to our videos on YouTube, StockTwits, and Twitter. Please do follow us there. And finally, I wanted to point out a new campaign we're running to kind of help support the work that we're trying to do here. We are running a Patreon campaign. Patreon is kind of like Kickstarter for artists. So what this is it allows you to pledge support for our work to create better videos, to create and develop a better website, and in so doing, we'll give you very, very nice deals for your support. And ultimately, we're looking to build a community that we want you to be a part of. So we're going to have a link to this Patreon campaign in the video notes below. So please do give whatever you can, and we very much appreciate it. Thanks, guys, and have a wonderful day.